Welcome back to the College Football Game Night Preseason Special.
Well, you heard it during the intro. Welcome back to the College Game Night Preseason Special, where it's time to pack our bags and travel up I-5 to start talking some Beaver football, Liv.
And a lot of growth by this program in just the last year. We've got to remember a season ago, this program was gutted from the prior year when head coach Jonathan Smith packed his bags and left now head coach Trent Bray scrambling to pick up the pieces. Despite this, Oregon State football looked solid in its first 5 games. A 4-1 record to begin the season was a positive sign, but as the year progressed, the cracks started showing, especially as the injuries began to pile up. Depth was an issue a season ago and was a big reason why they finished 1-6 down the stretch. But during the offseason, the Beavs made sure to address that both in recruiting and in the development of returning players.
Yeah, a lot of new guys, and then guys that got to take that next step. The guys like Dexter Foster and Cy, and guys that played a lot last year that need to take that next step in year 2. So really, it's getting familiar and drilling down on what we need to be great at on both sides of the ball, and then becoming masters of those things so we can build on it when we get to fall camp.
And how about this, Brett? 20 new freshmen on this team, 14 from the transfer portal. The Beavers have not only added depth this season, but they've also developed quite a few returners as well.
Yeah, they've done a great job in doing that. Saladin Alla, Dexter Foster, Thomas Collins, those are just a couple of names we've seen at fall camp, really shown some growth. But I want to go back to the transfers because perhaps one of the biggest steals we saw during this offseason was Malik Murphy going to Oregon State. This young man may become one of the best Beaver quarterbacks we've seen ever in a season. He's got size, he's got a strong arm, he can push the ball deep, and from spring into fall camp, we've seen his accuracy and his chemistry with his receivers improve dramatically, and that's really key, Olivia, because a season ago, that was missing. The Beavers could not throw the ball. Just 201 yards on average through the air a year ago. That had to change heading into this season. And bringing in a guy like Murphy gives the program the ability to not only push the ball down the field, but of course, create those all-important explosive plays.
Sky's the limit, honestly. We have a lot of versatile pieces. It's a lot of things we could do. And there's a lot of people we could put in certain spots to help us win.
Malik's done a great job. I feel great about where he's at. He's grown just from spring to fall camp to where he's at right now.
We are better throwers than we were last year. I think everywhere in the offense, talent-wise and understanding of what we're doing, we're better. So I think we can get that going.
Now, last season, Olivia, get this. Oregon State had just 7 touchdowns for the entire season. That was tied for the second worst in the nation. Malik had 26 alone at Duke, and after this offseason, I think he could throw potentially even more.
For sure, and with the addition of Malik, you can bet that Oregon State's rushing attack should find even more success on the field this season, especially with senior returning running back Anthony Hankerson, who is not someone you want to mess with in open space. A season ago, he finished with nearly 1,100 yards on the ground and 15 rushing touchdowns, the 6th most in Beaver single-season history. Add in a hopefully improved offensive line and a new quarterback that can keep the defense honest, opposing coordinators better watch out. But the program also added depth to the room during the offseason. You mentioned Saladin Alla a little bit ago. He's improved from last year. There's Marquise Crosby, Cornell Hatcher Jr. It doesn't matter who you give the rock to, this Beaver running unit is going to get the job done.
I don't care who runs football, as long as it gets done. You know, whether it's Hank, whether it's Sala, whether it's Crosby, whether it's Jake, whether it's Cornell, I wouldn't care. But the standard is the standard in the room. You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't care who runs the football.
Everybody know we can run the ball, we gonna run the ball. So it's like you stack the box, you're gonna get beat over top. So it's like pick your poison. You either want to stop the run or you either start the pass, but you ain't gonna do both.
Brett, 4 out of the last 5 years, Oregon State has had a running back rush for more than 1,000 yards. I think we're going to see another one this year.
I think that's a pretty safe bet for those at home. 3 straight years of a 1,000-yard rusher in Corvallis. And, of course, while the Beaver offense has looked very much improved from a season ago, we can't forget about that Beaver defense, which, of course, was a key weakness for this program a season ago. They were ranked near the bottom in nearly every single statistical category across the nation. But when they struggled on the field a season ago, they were also gaining something really invaluable, Liv, and that was experience. And with Coach Gray calling the shots once again, the improvements are already showing during fall camp. From the secondary to the D-line, the Beavers seem faster, stronger, and again, most importantly, more experienced heading into this season. When you have a year like the Beavers did a year ago in 2024, it can make a group like this more hungry to show that last year was not the standard.
A lot of guys that know what they're doing, bigger and stronger, just from the last time. And so it's been a good camp. I feel like we've got a solid group of guys that can contribute and help us win.
Last year obviously wasn't the standard, and we're lucky to have our head coach here to kind of break down this defense and really to pull it apart and really put it all back together again, communication-wise, to make sure our players are in the right position so we can play defense the way this place is designed to play.
And can't get enough of college football breakdown? Stick right here as we preview the SOU Raiders' upcoming season, the storylines, the sounds, everything you could ask for next.